For my political design, I chose to express the changes of the world visually through the 4 seasons. The text reads in a continuous fashion, "The world is changing, why can't we?" with the punctuations purposely left out to play with the interpretations of the text by adding, "Why can't we change the world?" I have incorporated my own culture into the work through the different types of leaves to show the importance of embracing one's own culture. All of the leaves are silhouettes of motifs from textiles. The spring leaves are 2 snails together, the summer leaves are an elephant's foot, and the fall leaves are cucumber seeds. I hope to plant into the viewer's mind that we can change the world by changing ourselves and our actions.
The names and labels that people often assign to a stranger are incredibly impactful on how that person begins to think about him or herself. I wanted to create an image that reflects the growth and beauty that can stem from the repetitious hatred that is placed before them. Each word carries with it its own flower and a stem that bends and waves, splits and grows in different directions.
The word grow is large and central, so viewers may at first interpret this as a piece about personal growth, which it can be, but my images help tell a different story. One about growth from the land. I depict gardening tools, food grown from our soil, and the bees that help it thrive. This is the real story of my banner. I wanted to celebrate the act of growing our own food because it is important to remember that what we consume takes time and energy to produce.
I have included the ginkgo leaf because the ginkgo tree relies on other trees in order to reproduce and survive. Much like people, the ginkgo tree cannot stand alone. This is why we need a movement from below to save our environment. Recently, I have been inspired by the movement against the Dakota Access Pipeline. Our environment desperately needs a mass movement led by the working class people to ensure a future in which people and nature can be free from oppression.
I chose to use loaves of bread as a symbol for home and community. Baking is an important part of my family and my childhood.
My grandmother, Mildred McCarthy Bell, Minnie, was a strong, stubborn, funny, vibrant, and loyal woman. She was a constant presence in my life, as well as my sisters, and had an active hand in raising us alongside of our parents. The repeat pattern I have designed consists of the pearls and pins she so frequently wore, items that are not only reminiscent of her classic beauty, but also of the ways in which she remains entwined in our lives long after her passing. The layering of pin and pearls connect her past with my present as a printmaker. I have combined the 2 pieces of jewelry into a single image in order to create a re-envisioned family crest. The pearls act as a nod to the DNA that binds my grandmother and me together, while the pin's floral motif recalls the enduring roots of a small-town Pennsylvania girl established in the hearts of all who knew her.
This yardage is a symbolic step to reclaim myself. No longer feeling shame, no longer to be repressed for longing. This symbol is for everyone.
As the saying goes, music is what feelings sound like. I believe that music generates vibes in the same way that people do. I wanted to explore what this might look like visually, so as I listened to some of my favorite sounds, I began to sketch and ponder how different albums and genres might translate on paper and on fabric.
I born in 1980 in Medellin, Colombia, where I lived inside of the narcotraffic war until 2003. From 1980 to 2000, my country was immersed in a time of violence where random explosions were part of the daily life. Those explosions were always close to me, but I was never too close to be harmed by them. Since then, I developed a fascination about how you can feel during that specific moment. Shapes and pieces will surround me, and I will be suddenly immersed in a geometric chaos. The aim of this fabric is to give to the spectator the sensation of being covered by a violent and destructive shattering, of blowing apart of something, as is caused by a bomb in a physical and emotional way.